Hi there, and welcome to CAN TV. My name is Ava, and I'm your host this afternoon for the Greater Westtown Training Partnership Program. And next to me, I have Charlie this afternoon. He's one of our instructors at the Greater Westtown Training.
Thanks for having me on again.
Hey, Charlie. Do me a favor and give our viewers today some insight on Greater Westtown, a little bit of the background, and what they would need to do in order to come to an orientation.
A little bit of the background.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So a little bit of the history of the training for woodworker manufacturing. Started back in 1992.
Wow.
And basically there was a need for skilled workers. Manufacturing just started getting pushed out of the city a little bit, and they were going more high tech. And if you fast forwarded probably up to about 5 years ago, the need for skilled labor was in dire needs here in Chicago. So one of the things how we found our niche was we kind of saw that market kind of arising and stuff, and we wanted to make sure that there was some type of training out there to give people or employers some type of entry-level skilled labor in woodworking. And that's what we're all about. So right now, for the people who are looking on our cable access right now, access
CAN TV.
CAN TV. I just want to invite you guys to come and check us out. Basically, what I'm talking about is a 15-week manufacturing training program where we teach people who have no skills and give them the ability to kind of work on equipment like table saws, routers, bandsaws, stuff that they may see in a typical woodworking shop. We also have CNC equipment, where we also teach a little bit of programming with those students too. And the main goal with this is to get people placed on a job afterwards. So that's the main goal.
Okay, so what would they need to do in order to qualify for the program?
Well, the qualification for entering our training program, there's four. A person has to be at least 18. They have to test at a 6th grade level math and reading. They also need to be able to pass a drug screening. Did I mention that already?
No, you didn't.
Okay. And there was one other.
You said
Income.
Okay, 18
Right?
years
So,
of age,
yeah.
low income.
So they have to be low income. Low income, basically, if a person is receiving some type of public aid or unemployment compensation, or maybe they have a family of four and under a certain income bracket, that will qualify for them for training, so that way, again, they don't have to worry about that expense coming out of their pocket.
Okay, so from what some of the talk that I've been hearing, that there's a gaping hole across, say, the United States, just about in the manufacturing business. So when you prepare them, what kind of jobs do you anticipate placing them on, or is that part of the procedures after they complete the program? What next?
So yeah, so the idea of what we try to do is a couple of things. Not only give them enough skills, but we also give them some resume writing. We do job readiness skills. Because we know that sometimes the interview process is not, always friendly or seems friendly to people. So we try to do maybe some mock interviews with those students and get them prepared to go out there and talk to employers. So the process for me is one of the job developers and getting people placed on a job is, especially with this economy now, manufacturers are calling me and asking for people to get placed on a job, and my biggest issue right now is I don't have enough
people
to get those jobs filled. So I got maybe about 4 or 5 companies that are looking for 2 or 3 people right now. And right now we have a class that's going on. They're probably in their 9th week. Am I right? And they'll be ready to go out on interviews in probably another 4 weeks.
Okay, tell me some of the jobs that once they complete the program, where would you place them? Like, say, even though from my understanding, they're making furniture and cabinetry, what about instruments, things of that nature?
Okay, so the types of jobs that we usually place our students on, there are many. For woodworking, there's basically 5 fields, and a little bit later as we go through some of the slide presentation, kind of point them out to you. There's the typical cabinetry, and everybody knows that because they go in the home. They got the kitchens, right? They got bookshelves, things of that nature. Furniture. Then there's lumber mills. Those are the woodworking jobs that they're supplying the lumbers to
Okay.
these different trades. There's architectural millwork, which people are like, okay, what's that? That one's basically if you happen to go to maybe a church is pretty typical of architectural millwork, or maybe office buildings downtown where they got these wooden paneling and pews and things of that nature. Stuff that's bolted down, made out of wood, is architectural millwork.
Oh, so like this desk,
No, this desk would be furniture, right? So
it's bolted.
if it's bolted, if it's bolted, then most likely that can be architectural millwork. So you're talking about those arched windows that you might see in some of these
The
ritzy
gorgeous
homes,
windows.
Banisters, things of that nature. Again, stuff
The
that can be
spindles.
moved, right.
Yeah.
So all of that, and then there's musical instruments. So and I think some of the big guitar makers that you probably heard of have kind of moved out of the city and stuff, but we still have a couple here in the city where we'll place students every once in a while.
Okay, so what's the percentage of your job placement after the students have gone through the curriculum?
So we have a placement rate. It's actually throughout our training program since 1992. It's been steady at about 85%.
That's great.
It's actually peaked a little bit more just because of the economy right now. So right now it's really close to 87%
Okay.
placement. Not to say that everyone gets jobs. Sometimes there's other issues that happens to go on and stuff like that. But as long as people are willing to work with us, my commitment to all of our students is to get them placed on a job.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the overhead so that they can see the information. So it's the Greater Westtown Training Partnership. It's the Wood Products Manufacturing Training Program. The location is 500 North Sacramento Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. The phone number is there for you, which is 312-563-9570. And we also have 3 other contacts, which is Facebook, the World Wide Web, and an email address. So as Charlie said, there's a class starting soon. If you want to get into this class, which I believe is starting in April,
In April.
you need to contact this number. Seats are going fast, so give us a call, okay? So Charlie, I understand that you've brought some student guests with you today.
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
Right.
so we're going to talk just a little bit more, and then we're going to start calling them up to
Okay, sure.
drill in with some
Sure.
questions.
So why don't you hit a couple of those slides and
Okay.
kind of show the people out there kind of what we're doing in the shop.
Okay,
So yeah, go ahead.
so can you explain this one?
Yeah, so this is a student, I think is a little bit overboard with the respirator. But one of the first things we'll try to do with our students is kind of get them into making 4 boxes, and we use 4 different construction methods with those boxes. So I think this person right now is, he's probably assembled the box and it needed just a little bit of sanding before it gets laminated. So he was probably using the respirator as a means to kind of eliminate
the dust?
Yeah, the dust.
Okay. And right here, what are they doing?
So right now we have 3 students that are working around processing lumber. It's pretty raw, and what we try to do whenever we are working on any type of furniture, anything with solid lumber, we try to square it up. A lot of those boards come from lumber mills and stuff, and they might not be totally straight. There might be some defects, and we as woodworkers need to make sure that all those defects are out of the wood before they can go any further in any type of process, either if you're making table legs or desktops or molding or anything like that. The material needs
So is that the
square.
purpose of the machine that she's standing by?
Right, that machine right there is called a planer, and basically what it'll do is provide thickness to those boards. Goes through a joiner first to surface one side, and then the planer is going to surface the other side, and we'll get 2 parallel surfaces once it's done, but it'll be able to work with at that point.
Okay. And what is this young man
And
doing?
that's the joiner. That's the first step. So with those boards, again, one side has to be flattened out first before it goes through the planer, and that's the machine. That machine there is probably about 80 years old. Still works great. Yeah, it's a really nice machine. So yeah, you'll see typical machines like that in a woodworking shop.
Okay, great. And
Yep, so that's our Facebook page right there. So if you're looking on Facebook and you want to kind of check us out, we got some more stuff, videos that you might want to check out on Facebook.
okay, so Charlie, I just have one more question for you.
Yep.
What if the person that's applying has a barrier? How does that work?
So barriers, so usually a class for woodworking, usually about 20% ex-offenders. So one thing with manufacturing is that they're really good at not caring about people's background too much, depending on what type of offense. But usually, they'll come to the training program, get jobs just like anybody else.
Okay, so that's great. I mean, so it's like a second chance.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And they deserve it. So, well, what would be some of the biggest challenges that a person would face in the training program?
The biggest challenges that I'm looking at, when people come to our training program, sometimes the biggest challenge is they come in with a certain perception of what they think this training is like. And it's more really like a job setting. So we're really, we're really strict on attendance and punctuality. Our classes start at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we expect people to be there, before 8 o'clock, so that way they get going at 8 o'clock. A lot of the industry companies start 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. So, that's one of the biggest challenges, I would say. So, punctuality, work ethic, all those things come into play just like a job, right? So these are traits that employers are looking for, people who are, be able to get on their feet and kind of quick learners and things of that nature.
So to kind of hit the ground running.
So before I say that, let me just mention to the person who might be watching the show that people come into this training program at different levels. Some people don't know a hill of beans about woodworking, and they just kind of see something and it's really beautiful and they want to maybe kind of delve into that. Then there's some people who come in with higher skill levels. And our training program is kind of run with a mindset is nobody knows anything about woodworking, and we're going to go ahead and start building up skill levels. So from week to week you'll see progress in that. So they'll start working on small simple projects. And projects, as they go through training, is going to get more complex to give them an overall view of the different types of equipment, different techniques, blueprint reading, math that's going to be involved in those different things. And the great thing about all of the projects that they do is they get to take them home with them when they're done.
Wow, that's great. So Charlie, I have more questions for you, but what I'm going to do is put up the location and the information again for our viewers, and then I'm going to have one of the guest students up, okay?
Sure.
So here you go, viewers. As the Greater Westtown Training Partnership Wood Products Manufacturing Training Program, located at 500 North Sacramento Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. The phone number is 312-563-9570. We have 3 other forms of contact: Facebook, the World Wide Web, and our email address. If you want to get into this class, you must dial this number for an orientation, and the orientation is held every Tuesday at 8:45 a.m. and there's a class starting in April. So you need to contact us. The seats are filling up fast. So we're back live and we have one of our students here with us. Alexi, welcome to CAN TV. How are you today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good. Let me ask you right off the bat, what brought you through the doors of Greater Westtown?
Honestly, I like learning. I just like gaining new skills. I've always been interested in furniture design, just design, period. And so, that's part of what brought me here. And I always used to see the ad for it, like on trains, and I just ignored it for years, and finally something was
Clicked and said, let me call this
Yeah,
number and see
yeah.
what it's all about,
I
huh?
was like, I should look into that.
So now that you're there, what do you think about the program itself?
I think it's great. I was a bit naive. I forgot measurements and things like that go into building stuff. So when I came, I was like, oh prep. I have to learn the ruler and this and that. But it's great because I'm learning new skills, you know?
You have so much more to the ruler than meets the eye, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So now you have the understanding of, is it measure once and no, is measure twice and cut once? Because if you mess up the product, then you have to replace it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that comes to mind. So what is it that you like most about the program?
I like being in the workshop most. Right now we're working on cabinets, and it's way more exciting than when we first started because we're actually picking out our own woods and like.
So it's personal.
Yeah, it's more personal. So it's like, yeah, these are our babies, you know. It's just fun. Like,
So do you feel that you're getting the attention and the instructions that you need, or is it? I mean, it's not overwhelming where it's like too many students in one classroom and you don't feel that you're getting the attention that you need.
I don't know, it's pretty great how they do it because when we're working on things, we only have about 8 people in my class. But if we're working on something, they'll take us like in groups of 4, and
Okay.
like 4 of us will work on one thing, the next 4 will work on something
So
else.
it's more like a
and-
team setting.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly.
So now that you're learning all these new skills, what's the next step?
Well, I definitely hope to be placed in a job after. I've always been into music, so I'm hoping I get to
Oh, so that's
land in one of those instrument places.
Okay.
And besides that, I do eventually want to like have my own little personal shop and just make like custom pieces for people.
good for you. Good for
Yeah.
you. So has there been any obstacles that you've met since you've been there?
Yeah, having to jump back into going to school again, you know, just having to be somewhere Monday through Friday so early and having to go to sleep on time or telling people, oh, I can't do anything during the week because I have school, you know. But it's, yeah, it makes me feel good though. It's like I haven't challenged myself in a while and it's like a good challenge.
So you feel it's all worth it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, so that's
Yeah,
a good
yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
So then also when you done with your project, you get to stand back and say, I did that, I accomplished that. You know,
Exactly.
it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go to the overhead again and give them the address so that they can come in and do what you're doing. Okay, people out there, this is the Greater Westtown Training Partnership Program, the Wood Products Manufacturing Training Program located at 500 North Sacramento Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. There's the phone number, jot it down, 312-563-9570. If you can't jot down the phone number, maybe you can memorize the 3 other forms of contact. Facebook, World Wide Web, and we also have an email. So get on it. Okay, we're gonna have to slow it up just a second. I see that we have a caller. Caller, are you there?
Yes, hello?
Hello?
Hi. So my name is Isabel. I just moved to Chicago, and I'm interested in doing woodworking, but I'm kind of concerned as to whether there's any positions available for women.
I'm going to answer that to the best of my ability, and then I'm going to have Charlie back in a few minutes, and he may want to add on to it. But yes, definitely, the women are, I would say, a threat to the men. We have an eye for detail. We're gifted. Get in here. Call that number. What's the matter? Hello?
Yes, hello?
Yeah. Did you hear my response?
Sorry, I missed what you just said. I'm sorry.
Yes, the women are great in woodworking. We have an eye for detail. They love the CNC machine and all the power tools. That's a big hype right there. I mean, that's just a turn on to me anyway. So if you want the class, dial the number, and we could probably answer many more of your questions that you may have. But like I said, if you're watching the show, don't hang up. Watch it till the end. Charlie will be back up here, and he might want to dive into it just a little bit more. But it's very well balanced from my understanding with the men and the women. It's a great class, a great career. Does it answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling in. Okay, so it was great having you. I'm glad you, and I should have said, look at her. She's sitting here, you know, a woman. Yeah. She's in the shop. She's enjoying it. She can't wait to move forward. So call that number, 312-563-9570. So once again, I'm going to go to the overhead. just in case you missed a number while you were talking to me. Greater Westtown Training Partnership Program is the Wood Products Manufacturing Training Program, 500 North Sacramento, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. The phone number is 312-563-9570. Okay, there's 3 other form contacts, which is the World Wide Web, the email, and it gives you, the orientation is on Tuesday at 8:45. Please call the number. And we have another student guest, and his name is Ben. Welcome, Ben. How are you today?
Pretty good, pretty good. Thanks.
Okay. Same question. What brought you to Greater Westtown?
I was looking for, initially I was looking for CNC training to expand my woodworking skills.
Okay.
Because I've a little bit of experience, a couple of years, doing some more or less basic stuff. And I found JARC, and I want to interview with them. And when I talked to them, they found out, oh, you're a woodworker. You would be probably better suited at Greater Westtown because they do metal. Strictly. Mm-hmm. So I came down here and I talked to Charlie. I met him and gave him a tour, and it sounded like it was something that I could get a lot out of.
So you're enjoying the class?
Yeah.
Any
yeah,
obstacles?
Let's see. It's laid out in a way that makes it pretty conducive to pick up a lot of stuff. It's really well. I think it's well organized and well designed program.
So you're enjoying the class entirely?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So do you have any plans for moving forward after you complete the program?
Yeah. Hopefully, I find a job in a cabinet furniture shop
Okay.
and a little bit of my own stuff on the side here and there.
Okay.
But mainly looking for full-time cabinet maker, furniture maker.
It doesn't sound like you're going to have any problems. What you say you're learning. I know Charlie's a great teacher, and you have other instructors there also as well. So what are you working on while you're in the shop right now?
Right now, we're building a cabinet with. We're learning how to veneer sheet goods and how to build frame out of solid wood, and I think we're going to do some solid surface for the top on it. So a pretty good variety of different materials and techniques. We're getting some good practice on.
Okay, so if you were to tell the viewers out there about Greater Westtown, what would you say?
Let's see. If you want to expand your skill set, if you already have some skills or still want to expand them, it's a pretty good place to go to and continue your growth and if you're rusty with certain things, and it might some kind of like fundamentals like measurement or the math behind it, it's really well designed to help kind of get that back into your system and practice that. And they bring some good methodologies and that you can use to kind of approach the problems that you commonly come up with, have to face some of the things you have to deal with. It's really valuable. Definitely recommend it.
Okay, great. So viewers, you heard him call that number. So I'm going to go to the overhead again so you can get the number. And Ben, thank you so much for letting us have you on the show. Here's the number again, Greater Westtown Training Partnership. It's the Wood Products Manufacturing Training Program, located 500 North Sacramento Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. The phone number is 312-563-9570. We have 3 other forms of contact, which is Facebook, the World Wide Web, and the email. As you can see, the classes are starting in April, and if you want to come to the orientation, it's 8:45 a.m. in the morning. So call that number, okay? Charlie, welcome back. I have just another question. So once they're accepted into the program and say they're having difficulty getting back and forth, do you have supportive services set in place?
We happen to provide a stipend at the end of the week. It's either a bus card or a gas card, depending on their modes of transportation.
Okay.
So that kind of helps out. I do want to address Isabel.
Okay, go
She's
ahead.
out there and stuff, and she was asking.
This
about
is for you.
Women out in the field. Women do really well. The biggest challenge that gets overcome by getting women placed on the job is sometimes both genders have a certain mindset about women in manufacturing. And if you think about what happened in World War II, where all the men were fighting, all the women were back here. They were making planes and tanks and all that stuff, and they were getting things. They were getting stuff done.
They were getting the work
They
done.
were getting it done. So just to let you know, we have women out there that are excelling in their jobs. So, give us a call. That's the first step. If you just want to check us out, you come in for a tour, for orientation,
Oh, that's great.
and go there. I know we're supposed to be wrapping up because we got just a few seconds, all right?
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up by giving you the overhead information again. The Greater Westtown Training Partnership Program is the Wood Products Manufacturing Training. It's at 500 North Sacramento Boulevard, Chicago, Illinois, 60612. The phone number, 312-563-9570. We also have 3 other forms of contact: Facebook, the World Wide Web, and the email address. Don't forget, every Tuesday, 8:45 a.m., there's an orientation where you can come in and, like Charlie said, take the tour, submit your application. We're looking forward to having you. Call the number.
We do have a class starting in April, so if you want to do that soon.
Call the number soon. Seats are going like hotcakes. Thank you.